Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 245. My name is Jason Erpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and BuyandSellDVC.com.
And today is October 15th, 2025. The 11-month window from today is going to be September 15th, 2026. The 7th-month window is going to be May 15th, 2026. Now, we've done 245 episodes. I don't think I've ever done this before, but, some people ask, especially if you're not a DVC member or even if you're possibly looking to become a member or a renter, you say, well, what's available under 7 months in advance? So I did a check here. This is checking in April 18th, 2026. And then it was to April 25th, 2026. And I think it was Saturday to Saturday. And I checked it on 9/26. So basically, 7 month in advance window. And just Easter is April 5th. So this is like a random week in April. I understand it's not spring break. It's not Easter week. But this is just to give you an idea. And I did not check every single Disney Vacation Club resort, because I don't want to rattle off all the availability and then I lose your interest after about 10 seconds. But just to give you an idea, Saratoga Springs, which if you're not familiar with Saratoga Springs, they have standard studios. They have studio deluxe, one bedroom preferred, 2-bedroom lock-off, 2-bedroom standard villa, 2-bedroom lock-off preferred, 2-bedroom preferred, treehouse villa, 3-bedroom standard, 3-bedroom preferred. And guess what? All the nights were available for all the accommodations at Saratoga Springs.
Very nice.
Old Key West, what they have available. This is, again, all the nights. Deluxe studio at Old Key West, 1-bedroom villa, 1-bedroom villa near Hospitality House, 2-bedroom lock-off, 2-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom villa near Hospitality House.
Okay, so it looks like they're missing the studio near Hospitality House and the Grand Villa, which are the first two that always disappear anyways. But otherwise, everything's available.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then one other resort was the Polynesian that I checked. The Deluxe Studio Preferred View was available. And of course the bungalow was available. So the studio standard view was not available. But that gives you an idea. And then people can still check on the DVC-Rental website for availability not being a member, correct?
Correct, yes.
So they can you explain it real quick?
Just go to DVC-rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash. And then you just click on the button that says check availability. It's on several different pages, but there should be a button right there that says check availability. Or if you go under the little renters tab, because you're going to be a renter, the first thing on there is going to say check availability as well. But click check availability, put in your dates, and it'll show you what rooms are available on DVC points at every single resort in every size room for you. So it's a great way to get a full overview of what's available, and it prices out everything for you. And there's pictures of every resort on there if you like, and room pictures. So lots of really great stuff on the check availability form.
Yeah, because a lot of people that are looking to become a DVC member, they don't wake up one day, discover DVC, and then make a purchase that same day. It's usually there's a lot of there's a process involved of gathering the information. So you may use that website over a period of 6 months to say, well, I want to see if this is going to be available then, and that is going to help you get an idea of what you can expect once you become a member, because you want to know what's going to be available for when you book. And now we're on to the food review of the week.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So there was a restaurant that my wife and I went to a few years ago, and we thought the food was absolutely terrible. However, with the DVC promotion that they had last month, for 40% off, we decided to give Ale and Compass at the Yacht Club another try. And for this episode, I'm going to focus on what my wife had, which was the chicken and waffles. It says crispy fried chicken, savory waffles, cranberry maple syrup, $20. And again, 40% off of that. So, you look at about $12 for it, which is, for $12, a great deal. This, again, was one of the worst meals she's had on Disney property. The fried chicken had a really odd flavor to it, and she had to remove all of the breading from the chicken. And the waffles, for her, were basically inedible. It says savory waffles, and I'm not sure what that entailed, but there were giant green like flecks of some sort of seasoning in them that my wife and I both thought were just absolutely horrible. The textures of the waffles were also rubbery, but also mushy if possible. She probably didn't eat 75% of the meal. The service was also terrible. I didn't have a drink for my entire meal, and the server never came out for a refill. The restaurant was empty also, which is pretty understandable why. We gave this a 2.4. I believe it's the lowest grade we've ever given anything. And honestly, at this point, we'll never eat there again.
Wait, is that a negative 2.4?
That's just a dash on
Okay,
there. I put that sometimes.
Like,
it's not negative.
I was like, I like that. I was like, you've gone so bad, you had to go negative.
No, it's a regular 2.4, but just I don't think we'd ever eat there again. Even with the 40% off, I don't think we'd go there again.
And to touch on the 40% off, that was because of...
That was a DVC promotion they had in early September.
Okay.
Yeah, there's early September. They had a 40% off DVC promotion at listed a couple different restaurants. We went to a few, and this one was for Ale and Compass, and not good. Yeah, that was the only other restaurants in the past we've gone to where we said, wow, that food was really not good. And we went back again because they had the 40% off promotion. And I'll be honest, I'm going to do a review coming up of what I had, and it was not terrible. But this was absolutely terrible, and the service was terrible, and just I'm done with Ale and Compass.
And now we're on to the DVC-Rental side of things.
So for the rental side, just wanted to do a quick little overview of kind of like a Disney Cruise Line vacation versus like a Walt Disney World vacation, like overall what you can expect. So on the Disney Cruise Line, think of it as an all-inclusive floating resort with Disney theming. For example, the 7-night Caribbean cruise on the Disney Fantasy includes your meals, Broadway-style shows, kids clubs, character meet and greets, and even fireworks at sea. At Walt Disney World, it's more of like a choose-your-own adventure. We have 4 theme parks, water parks, the resorts, and a week-long stay at the Polynesian villas includes, mornings at Magic Kingdom, afternoons at the pool, evenings watching fireworks over Cinderella Castle. Pace of the vacation, Disney Cruise Line is definitely a much more relaxed vacation. Once you board and unpack, the ship's going to bring you multiple places, and a lot of times it's just doing what you want and relaxing, walking around the cruise line at a much slower pace. The kids could be in the Oceaneers Club, the parents could be hanging out in the spa, then everybody meets up for dinner. Where at Walt Disney World, it is fast-paced. You're going to probably be walking 8 to 10 miles a day, hopping from rides and shows to different dining reservations, possibly using Disney transportation. It's very exciting, but also it can feel like a marathon. And I've always said a lot of times when you're done with Disney, you're done with your Disney vacation, you need another vacation. And that's why it's also great to hit Vero Beach afterwards, because that could be a great 3 days or so of relaxing at Vero before heading home. Entertainment and activities. On Disney Cruise Line, you've got Broadway quality-like shows like Frozen and Beauty and the Beast. There's deck parties with Mickey, themed kids club where you got Marvel Superhero Academy, the Star Wars Millennium play area. Plus, they also show first-run Disney movies in the theaters. At Disney, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy ride. You still got Lion King show, Nemo show as well. Fireworks at night at Magic Kingdom. Dining. You got what's really cool about the Disney Cruise Line is that you've got rotating dining meals that you keep your same server every day, but you go to a different restaurant and you move throughout the ship on different nights. Then you've got themed restaurants like Animator's Palette, where the walls start changing color and come alive with animation while you're sitting there. Soft drinks are free. Character breakfasts happen on longer sailings as well. Walt Disney World, you've got over 200 places to choose from, from a Dole Whip stand all the way to like super fine dining like Victoria and Albert's. Great popular, if you stay at Polynesian, like Ohana at the Polynesian is a great choice as well, or be our guest at Magic Kingdom. As per cost, I'm almost done there. As per cost structure, Disney Cruise Line, most costs are up front. Your cruise fare is going to include all your meals, your shows, the clubs. Anything extra like excursions or specialty dining, alcohol, Wi-Fi, you got to pay extra for. But just as an example, on a 4-night Bahamas cruise for a family of 4 might run $4,500 to $6,500 depending on the cabin. Where at Walt Disney World, it says your costs can spiral because everything is a la carte. You get your hotel, your park tickets, if you want Genie Plus and dining, but everything else you buy can get up there pretty quickly. 5-night trip at Disney with 4 at the moderate resort or tickets, meals could be $5,000 to $7,000. Or if you're using DVC, probably around that same point as well. And last one on here is Family Fit. Disney Cruise Line says best for families who want Disney magic without all the hustle. Teens often love the Edge Vibe clubs. I think the clubs on the Disney Cruise Line sometimes aren't the best. Personally, it says Walt Disney World is the best for families who just love thrill rides, big parades, park hopping. Teens enjoy more independence and explore parks. I find that the teens are better off at Walt Disney World, whereas the cruise line, the younger kids are a much better fit. I'm not saying that adults or teens can't go on the cruises, but I mean, I think a family with young kids, while they could do both parks, cruise line's a very good choice because the kids can do their own little thing, the parents can do their thing and relax. It's a very nice medium. Walt Disney World's good for everybody, but there's a lot more hustle and bustle and craziness. So either way, I think whether picking a Disney cruise or Walt Disney World Vacation, can't really go wrong with either choice.
Yeah, I mean,
Put your hands together.
It's interesting what you say about the kids, because like, I mean, we each have 2 kids. So going on a cruise, like when my kids were, say 4 and 6, 6 and 8, 8 and 10, like they're both happy with what's going on, what their choices are, what to do, And then now it's like if they go to a park for a day, well, one of them wants to go to this park, one of them wants to go to this park. It just becomes, a little bit, like the cruises are, I mean, the cruises are perfect for when the kids are little because it's like,
oh yeah. And my kids love the cruises because, again, we'll split up. I mean, when we're at the parks, obviously everybody's together. You keep an eye on them, and everybody has fun. But for the adults, a lot of times the cruises are wonderful because we'll wake up. Our kids know that, maybe they'll hang out with us for a little bit, but then, the kids club opens at 11 a.m. So both kids head to the kids club, and my son goes and does one thing with his group of friends, and my other son goes and does another thing with his group of friends. And we're like, all right, we'll meet up for lunch, and we'll meet up, and afterwards, like a lot of times it's literally, we'll be back at the room by 5 o'clock for dinner, and we'll go to dinner, and we'll be in touch throughout the day. But most of the time, they do their stuff that makes them happy. My wife and I get to do stuff that makes us happy, and it's much, much less stressful than a regular Disney World vacation.
Right.
And a lot less walking.
And what's interesting is I don't know if we've discussed in the past, like we talk about Norwegian. I mean, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean. Like Royal Caribbean's known for having I can't think of what it's called, the surf
Flow rider.
And then like NCL now, their big ship has it probably has a certain name to it, but like the go-karts. Yeah. Like Disney is just like, the big thing is like having like the multiple water sides, or
That's their main thing, like the aqueduct and stuff like that. Disney hasn't been as innovative as some of the other cruise lines recently, like especially Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean has come out and put out these huge ships with huge aqua theaters and rock climbing walls and like tons and tons of new stuff. Disney's kind of fallen behind a little bit. So,
and does Disney have like I call it a rope, like NCL ships, like they have like some of them have a big ropes course. Does Disney have a ropes course, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't believe they have a ropes course. I'm not sure, but also Disney does not have the casino like the other ships have. Disney Cruise Line is a very good cruise line. The cast members are fantastic on Disney Cruise Line. But for the money, personally, I think you're better off going with Norwegian or Royal Caribbean. And personally, I think Royal Caribbean's a head above that. So we've been loving going with Royal Caribbean recently. I think they're on par with Disney.
I'm assuming all 3 cruise lines are still doing fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because
they're selling out. They're not having any problems, you know. They were worried about COVID for a while, when that came out. But since then, I mean, I think like their ships are pretty packed all the time. So, I mean, it's always, I love my cruises.
Yeah. All right.
I've already got 2 booked. I have 2 booked for next year.
Oh my gosh!
They've been booked for a long time though. Yes.
Oh, here we go. You gotta stop talking about this stuff for the fans.
I've got my European cruise booked for the 3rd year in a row. That hopefully does not get canceled for the 3rd year in a row. And then right after that, we have a cruise with the Edcott group. Chris Malick and his team, and Cassandra's going to be there. So it's the Disney community that we're part of. I think there's probably like 50 people or more, something like that. I don't know how many families. Maybe it's like 15, 20 families going. So that should be fun as well. That's July. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Knocking on wood with both of those.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.